Mr. Michael? All right. Let's start this evening with a public hearing. It is 7 o'clock, and I open the public hearing for the ordinance to annex property located at northwest of Broad Street consisting of 2.64 acres, Lexington County TMS number 006-000-09-011. Is there anyone who would like to speak at this public hearing? Seeing that there are none, I will close the public hearing for the ordinance to annex property located at northwest of Broad Street consisting of 2.64 acres, Lexington County TMS number 006-000-09-011. And I will call to order our July 14th meeting of the town of Batesburg-Leesville. Thank you, everyone, for being here at the beautiful Town Hall Complex. It is 7 o'clock, and at this time, I would ask Pastor Suits if you would come up and lead us in an invocation, sir. Thanks for being here, Kent.
Thanks for having me again. Do you need me to turn this on, or are we good?
You're on.
All right. If y'all would allow me, I'm going to read a passage this time. Don't always do this, but this was on my heart for all of us, including myself. This is from 1 John chapter 1. It says, "Behold, I am writing you no new commandment, but an old commandment that you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word that you have heard. At the same time, it is a new commandment that I am writing to you, which is true in him and in you, because the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. Whoever says he is in the light and hates his brother is still in the darkness. Whoever loves his brother abides in the light, and in him there is no cause for stumbling. But whoever hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes." Would you pray with me?
Thank you, sir.
Father God, you are a God who loves us more than we could ever imagine. You have made that clear to us in your word, and you have enabled us to love others and to love one another because of the love, the great love with which you have loved us. And so, Lord, we thank you for revealing this light to people in this world. We thank you for revealing it to us in your word. And we pray that it would be evident in the lives of our people, of our town, of our leaders, of those who represent our town here tonight, that they would more and more love one another because you love them. And we know this is only possible, I know this is only possible as you enable them through faith in Jesus. We thank you for this, all in his name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. At this time, it is the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Brown. Please stand if you are able. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. For the agenda, I would ask for a motion with an amendment for item C. The TMS number should be 040 on item C in new business instead of 043. So I just asked for a motion for approval of the agenda with that amendment.
So moved.
Mr. Proust, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bldg, any discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3? For the approval of the agenda, sir.
Go to the next person. I'm not sure what time
District 4?
Yes.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Adoption of the minutes for the regular council meeting from June the 9th, 2025, as presented in your packet. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Mr. Hall, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bldg, any discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
Yes, 3 votes yes.
4?
4 yes.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. Item B is the work session minutes for June 23rd, 2025, as presented in your packet. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Mr. Proust, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bldg, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
4 yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. The next regular council meeting is August the 11th, 2025. And for council committees reports, Central Midlands COG, Councilmember Bucknight.
COG did not meet in June.
Thanks, sir. And EPAC, Councilmember Prouse.
EPAC did not meet in June.
And Comment Advisory Committee, Councilmember Kane.
Jay, at some point, we're going to have to sit down and talk about public transportation, how the comment in the bus routes will work in town, and if the council or the town wants to make that investment in Route 97.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. And there was no meeting last week for joint municipal water and sewer. And Mr. Mike sent me an update for the BL Chamber. It was light, and I've left it on my desk. So I will get that out to Jay, and we'll include that in the minutes. I'll get it to council. It was pretty light. So any public comments this evening? We do have one. Thank you. And I'm going to read this real quick, just for procedure. Any citizen in the municipality may address council at any regular council meeting. Discussion is limited to items on the current agenda. Those who request to speak must sign in with the municipal clerk no later than 10 minutes prior to the beginning of the regular meeting, indicating their name, address, and agenda item on which they intend to comment. Each person who gives notice may speak at a designated time and will be limited to a 3-minute presentation at the discretion of the presiding officer. No questions shall be entertained, and this is not a forum for debate. Individual council members and the mayor may directly address before or after each meeting. The presiding officer may limit the number of speakers, and one speaker may not defer his or her allotted time to another speaker. Welcome, and say your name. Thank you. Just want to get that out of the way.
My name's Larry McConaughey. I live over on 137 South Ridgel Street in Batesburg. And the item that I'd just like to ask the council who represents us as citizens to take in consideration is the trash pricing, number D on the new business.
Yep.
My concern is that there are inconsistencies with the trash pickup. I know that this month during, we have, pickup is every Tuesday for me. Recycling is every other Tuesday. The last 2 times for recycling, they've come and picked up the recycling, but didn't pick up the trash. They've left it. Now, the second part of that inconsistency is a lot of times they will leave trash in the street. I'd just like to ask this council to consider those inconsistencies when considering whether or not there should be a price increase for us as citizens, since you are our representatives. The other question that goes along with that is, I do have a question that dates back. I'm sure there's, I just haven't been able to find or have anybody tell me which ordinance it is. But I've been told, because if it's going to be inconsistent, I just as soon take 5 minutes and run it over to the dump from where I live myself. But I've been told I'm forced, because I have city water, I must have the trash pickup. I just don't think it's quite fair to tell me I got to have a service that I may or may not be happy with, and I may or may not want.
Thank you. And definitely some things that you can address to the town manager or council after the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyone else speaking? Ms. Cricket? All right. So moving to unfinished business, item A is a second reading for the ordinance to annex property located northwest of Broad Street, consisting of 2.65 acres. Again, Lexington County TMS number is 006-000-09-011. Do I have a motion to adopt second reading?
So moved.
Mr. Proust, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wise, any discussion?
Jay,
Mr. Kane?
so every single meeting for the last 4 years, we've had zoning, rezoning, annexations on the agenda. At some point, we have to do a master plan as far as a layout of these zoning, the zoning map, and what our actual, the annexation that we're doing means nothing. I mean, it's not, we're not annexing to alleviate traffic or anything in that manner. So we need to make sure that we know what we want the town to look like, and we need to zone it appropriately and not keep spot zoning. Every single meeting, we have something on here about zoning or annexation.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Anyone else?
It's not an efficient way to do.
Ms. Shirley?
to-
Oh, sorry, wait. Steve, still, I didn't hear you on, the mic seemed to be cut off.
I know you.
Mr. Kane, are you,
No,
finish up?
okay.
Okay. Ms. Mitchell?
I wasn't here for the first reading, so what is this rezoning for?
Okay. This is a property owner, Jim Oswald, submitted a petition to annex. And there's a property zoning designation would be a industrial 1, general industrial, which is consistent with surrounding zoning and is already used for this purpose. Additionally, this property would be in Council District 8, which is consistent with surrounding Council District designation. The property is northwest of the Norfolk Southern Railroad, contiguous with Oswald Lumber property, which is within the town limits. Vulcan Industries intends to install a rail spur that will allow them to ship aggregate rock to various locations as an alternate to trucks. The Planning Commission met on May 19th, 2025, and voted unanimously to recommend to council the approval of the annexation with Industrial 1 zoning designation. So
Mr. Mayor.
that is over by the industrial park. It's a little slice, a little triangle next to the railroad tracks.
And just for clarity,
Hold on one second.
I had a typo in that. It is actually District 2.
Okay, it's District 2, thank you.
But
Thank
the
you.
bulk of that was.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Hall?
I was simply correcting the fact
Okay.
that it's not in my district.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a long way from you. Very good. Ms. Hartley?
Yes, I would like to say, Mr. Hendricks, that I believe that it would be feasible and it should be considered that we do meet with zoning to present a plan of our expectations for the future rather than for expansion and for the possibility of the rezoning and especially spot zoning. So I believe that's something that we need to consider bringing the two together.
And that will be part of the comprehensive plan. Hopefully, we'll have that meeting, the next meeting in August. So
August?
the comprehensive plan, I did have a conversation with Gregory Sprouse last week about that. So he's looking at August to try to have that next meeting, joint meeting between council and planning commission.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Again, second reading for the annexation on Northwest Broad Street, District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Oh, yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes, motion carries. New business, so this is a first reading ordinance to annex property located at Northwest Shealy Road. The property consists of one parcel containing 28 acres. And this is TMS number, let me make sure I get it right. TMS number 007-100-07-043. And this would be, so for background real quick, property owners Scott Wesley and Krista S. McNabb submitted a petition to annex with a request for zoning to be C2. Office is an institutional commercial, which is consistent with surrounding zoning and is already used for this purpose. Additionally, this property will be in Council District 6, which is consistent with surrounding Council District designation. The property is northwest of Shealy Road, near the intersection with Town Pond Road. Parcel is currently split between the town and Lexington County with 3.33 acres that are in town on the agenda tonight to be rezoned to C2 as well. The Planning Commission met on June 16th, 2025, and voted unanimously to recommend to council the approval of the annexation with C2 zoning designation. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse.
motion to approve as submitted.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Mr. Balknight. Any discussion?
Jay, is this the
Mr. Kane?
that that Andy Beatonbowl was talking about? We don't intend to do a second reading unless his real estate deal goes through, right?
The anticipation is that will be next month, but it could be placed on pause.
Yeah, but if the buyer and that deal goes,
If it doesn't happen, then there will not.
then we're not going to do a second reading.
Correct.
Yeah, now, that is very arbitrary and capricious and something that we should not get in, the council should not get in the habit of getting in the middle of real estate transactions. We have put our thumb on the scale of a real estate deal. And if that real estate deal goes bust, then council will be hung out here with this zoning, this annexation zoning, and we don't plan to do a second on it. We shouldn't, this should not be the regular order of business for the council to get involved in a real estate deal.
Any other,
And when this comes up again with another realtor or another business dispute or contract, we need to be cognizant of the precedent that we send with of our actions. This is not a country club where, friends come and get deals done from council so that they can make money on a real estate deal. This is not what council is for. In this deal, we should not be in the middle of this. This is a private business transaction.
Well, since you made that last comment about the financial, I would like to defend the realtor in the sense that.
I guess you would.
Well, the property owner, the current property owner, does not want this property to come into town if he maintains ownership. And I fully understand and respect that. The proposed buyer absolutely wants it to be in town. So we are trying to help with that.
That's not our job, though, Jay.
Well,
that's not what council does.
If-
We don't help with private business transactions, and we should not start tonight helping with private business transactions. I understand what you're saying, but what benefit does that have to the town?
I think the annexation is a benefit to the town.
Yeah, but we're not going to do it if this deal doesn't go through, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay, so it doesn't really have any benefit to the town. It has a benefit to a private business in town.
Okay.
It's a real estate transaction
We will
that
agree to
that we
disagree on that.
are helping to facilitate, and we should not be doing that.
any other discussion?
Yes.
First reading, yeah, okay. Ms. Hartley?
We should not be included in this discussion or this transaction because it is a business deal. And if the council starts to do this now, in the future, others will expect us to do the same thing. In fact, it does not have any, we don't have any jurisdiction for that. We should not be approving or even considering to make an approval of this situation.
Okay, any other discussion? Again, this is first reading for the ordinance to annex the property along Northwest Shealy Road. Yes, Ms. Mitchell?
How much do we know about the project?
It was discussed in executive session at the last meeting, ma'am.
We don't know.
They never told us what they were going to put down there.
We don't know.
Ms. Mitchell has the floor.
I'm answering her
Yeah.
question.
How much,
I'll let you talk in a minute, Mr. Kane. Just,
how much do we know about the project?
town manager, what do you want to disclose about the project, sir?
I'm not sure what we can disclose because it was discussed in executive session. So
Well, we voting, now it's a matter, it's an open matter,
Miss-
because we have a motion and a second to annex a piece of property. We don't even know what it's going to be used for. You might know what it's going to be used for, but this council does not know what it's going to be used for. And this is not the way that we should be doing the people's business.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kane. You've spoken twice. Ms. Mitchell, anything else? Yeah.
So the realtor provided the list of C2 properties. It could be it is not a residential property, but it could be a permitted special exception in R1. But the buyer would like for it to be in C2, and it falls into the category of items listed in C2.
And could you list those items out for Ms. Mitchell, Jay?
I do not have them all in front of me. I know it does include schools, adult care facilities, things of that nature. It is not heavy commercial. That would be C1, and it is not residential. Oh, okay. The attorney has it. So the ones that were identified were schools, colleges, universities, nursery or kindergarten schools, provided that all state requirements are met and subject to the provisions of Section 8-4, adult daycare centers and in-home adult daycare centers, public and semi-public recreational facilities, and uses not operated for profit, which may include parks, playgrounds, country clubs, community centers, neighborhood buildings, or churches, including Sunday school and educational buildings, and other places of worship. Those were the list of possibilities that was given.
But this isn't a sure deal.
This is a first reading, ma'am.
Until he knows for sure if it's going to go through, right?
Yeah, I believe that the buyer, they still have to go to closing to purchase the property.
Why are we voting on this now?
The current property owner has requested it. There, again, it is a little bit delicate because the current property owner does not want to be in town with his agricultural business, but the proposed buyer does want to be in town, absolutely wants to be in town. It could have been addressed afterwards, but
Do you really feel that this is council's decision to do something like this?
it's council's decision to vote on the annexation. And, based off of the information that is presented, those are the parameters that would be allowed. It's not residential, it's not heavy commercial. It was listed in those schools, adult daycares, child care facilities, or churches, or recreational facility. It falls in that realm. But the buyer is wanting to remain anonymous.
Have we done this before, Jay?
Mr. Kane?
I don't know.
This will be,
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Kane, I'm going to hold you up because you've spoken twice. I'm going to go to Mr. Hall.
to be fair about this, actually, and I believe our attorney you did not read the entire list of C2. Once we approve this, we are bound to abide by the entire list, and it is possible, not likely, but possible, that the use of the property could be changed and there is an additional use. It could be commercial. C2 covers certain commercial aspects. So basically, what we have here is a situation where we have someone saying, well, it's not going to be in this group, but we're voting to make it C2, so therefore that property can be used for any of those uses under the C2 category. Is that correct? Once you rezone it C2, it's all uses, and then it becomes a issue with the planning. It goes back to the planning commission to approve if there is an involvement of any requirements for their approval. But from a council standpoint, if we go C2, that property can be used for any of the items. All right, not that it would be, but legally we're saying you can use this property for any of those lists, which includes professional offices, and there's a long list. There was more included than was excluded in your statement. But from my standpoint, I'm looking at it as we're making it C2. We're not making it C2 with exception A, B, C, D, E, F. We're making it C2.
Well, just for
Okay, thank you,
clarity,
Mr. Hall.
the list that was read off was what was provided by Mr. Beatonbow for that discussion. I'm just for
Okay. Any other discussion? Again, this is first reading for ordinance to annex property along Northwest Shealy Road. District,
Yes.
Ms. Hartley?
And the fact that, as was brought out earlier, that Beatonbow was representing the realtor company, therefore, we were concerned that there would be other times that such discussions or such applications would come in, and we would be at the same crux trying to decide what to do with it. And in addition to that, as Councilman Hall said, the usage of the property, if once rezoned, is a major concern because it does have a long list of possibilities. I'm very concerned about that.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Any other discussion? Again, it's first reading for the ordinance to annex a property along Shealy Road. District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes no.
4?
No.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. All right. So this goes, kind of piggybacks on the other. This is to actually, so the first one was to annex, and this is a first reading ordinance to rezone the property from R1 Single Family Residential to the C2, as discussed earlier. Office and institutional commercial, TMS number, again, 00710-07-040. Do I have a motion to rezone the property from R1 to C2?
So moved.
Mr. Balknight, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wise, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes no.
4,
No.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. All right. And that brings us to the item D, first reading ordinance to establish a sanitation rate. So in a letter dated May 31st, 2025, Waste Management notified the town of Batesburg-Leesville of a 4.9% CPI increase to the sanitation rates charged by Waste Management. The current rate is $20.01, with the new rate being $21.25. The letter from Waste Management was received on June 6, 2025, and council was notified in the weekly report of the CPI increase. And due to the timing, it was not possible to get that on the, to add this to the budget increase for the item on the agenda for June. And the manager reached out to, the manager reached out to Waste Management regarding their short turnaround from the letter to the implementation date, which was originally set for July 1st, 2025, and asked for the implementation to be delayed, and they offered the compromise of delaying the payment until September 1st, allowing time to pass the ordinance, raise rates. However, the increase would be compressed into 9 months instead of 12 months, causing a slightly higher amount. The current monthly rate per cart is, like I said, $20.01, with the new rate being $21.25. It is, what's the math on it? 31 cents higher per month per cart. Then it's 31 cents higher than what was originally proposed in like July 1st, to begin July 1st. In addition to the increased rate from Waste Management, the town also applies an additional $1.09 per cart to cover the cost of the Saluda Lexington transfer charge, and this cost covers Saluda County resident sanitation passing through Lexington County's transfer station. So this additional cost allows all residents of Batesburg-Leesville to pay the same rate regardless of which county they reside in. The most recent increase came in July 1st, 2024, when we had an increase of 5.3%. Based on CPI, and most likely there will be another increase next year. And we will be sure to remind Waste Management of the fact that the current rate has the additional 31 cents per month in place, and the rate should revert back to the 12-month average. Staff's recommendation is to increase that rate to $21.25 per month for the sanitation beginning September 1st, 2025. Do I have a motion? All right. Seeing no motion, I will move to the next item on the agenda. A resolution about the intersection at Mitchell Street and Highway 23. And this is, let me grab this real quick. All right, so at our May meeting, we voted to have a resolution restricting left-hand turns at the West Church Street, Highway 23, Mitchell Street intersection. Councilman Hall had requested it, and council said we were going to put this on the agenda for today. And in communications with Robert Dickinson of SCDOT, he did advise that intersection is a confirmed project that is in the design process, so that is nice. Currently proposed for letting towards the end of 2027. So it'll be a little while before that gets to be fixed, for sure. Probably 2028 construction. And a resolution, the attached resolution, the resolution in your packet calls for no left turns from West Church Street onto Mitchell Street during high-traffic hours, specifically recommending that no left turns be allowed Monday through Friday between the hours of 7 to 9 a.m. and in the afternoon between 4 and 6 p.m. And again, this is a resolution that will be sent to SCDOT as consideration. We don't get to do that without their blessing. So this resolution is simply asking that they'll consider no left turns right there between 7 and 9 a.m. and 4 and 6 p.m. Do you have a motion to adopt the resolution?
So move.
Mr. Hall, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Balknight. Any discussion?
If I may, there
Mr. Hall?
should be a correction to the resolution. The issue is on the westbound lane, it should be restricted in the afternoon hours between 4 and 6. There is no reason to restrict the eastbound lane during that period. In the morning, the eastbound lane should be restricted per the hours in the resolution. There's no need to restrict both lanes for both time periods.
What?
Wait, hold on one second. Mr. Hall still has the floor.
Is it proper to amend that motion
Yeah, then,
to include those changes?
yeah, then I would say make the amendment, and then Mr. Balknight, you have the second, so you would have to second it again.
No, we're not making an amendment. What are you talking about?
Making an amendment to the resolution per Mr. Hall. We have a motion and a second, and we're in discussion, and he would like to amend his motion.
Then, Mr. Mayor, according to Robert's Rules of Order, he has to make the amendment, then we have to have a second for the amendment.
Yes,
Then we discuss the.
correct. Correct. Okay. So, Mr. Hall, make your motion one more time, your amendment.
Mr. Mayor, I'd amend the resolution to read the restriction of no left turn on the westbound lane of Church Street onto Mitchell Street between the hours of 4 and 6, and no left turn in the eastbound lanes between the hours of 6 and 9.
That's not a problem.
Okay, thank you. I have an amendment. Do I have a second?
Yeah,
Mr. Balknight, you had the second before. Do you second it?
not that.
Mr. Balknight?
I can't second it because I
Okay.
can't understand it.
Okay. All right, do you have a second from anyone else? Okay, I'm going to say the motion dies right now. Mr. Hall can rework this with staff. Thank you. And we're going to move to item
No,
F.
wait. That's a motion to amend. We still on the resolution.
I've got a motion to amend. I don't, okay, so the original resolution, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Kane. Appreciate that. So this, yeah, it reverts back to the original motion. Any discussion on the original motion? Any more discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse?
just one point. My concern with limiting left turns in this stretch is that it will redirect traffic to somewhere else. Most likely location for that is North Carolina Avenue, which has no turning lanes at all. And I think that will be a problem during those hours when people can't turn on to Mitchell Street from 23.
Thank you, Mr. Prowse. Ms. Mitchell?
Yeah, they're going to go beyond.
No, I heard him first because he has a microphone.
I had spoke first before.
Yeah, I just can't hear you, ma'am, because you're in the audience. Okay,
It doesn't matter.
go ahead. You have the floor.
This is not really a resolution.
It's a resolution, ma'am.
No, it's not, because you gonna tell people they can't make a left-hand turn.
This is a resolution for DOT to consider the resolution. We're not telling anyone to do anything. We're asking DOT to take a look at it.
What you all want to do is make a resolution where people can't make a left-hand turn onto 23 at certain points of time in the day. That's crazy, because the traffic is crazy. So how can you tell people they can't make a left-hand turn.
It would be,
Already done blocked the street.
it would be,
Shouldn't have been blocked. Now you're talking about a resolution where you can't make a left-hand turn.
yes, ma'am, it would be coming off of 23 to Mitchell Street from both ways. Any other discussion? Mr. Kane?
Yeah, I would very much like to get some public input on this, but I kind of agree with Jason that we need to understand what the repercussions of no left turn there would cause people to do. Either they're going to turn left short of Mitchell to come between the doctor's office here, they're going to go around, or they're going to go beyond the no left turn, and like Jason said, make the left on North Carolina Avenue where the Sprint is. And we don't know what that might do. And we might be creating a bigger problem. I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Mr. Balknight?
This, the way I understand this resolution is that this is something that we present to SCDOT and let their engineers make the decision whether this is even feasible. Is that not correct? We don't have the authority to actually do this. We submit it to them for them to decide.
The resolution states, resolution of the town of Batesburg-Leesville requesting the South Carolina Department of Transportation to consider restricting left turns from West Church Street onto Mitchell Street during peak traffic hours. That is the title of the resolution.
But is that a difference without
Mr.
a
Kane?
distinction? That's a difference without a distinction, because if we resolve to let them make the decision, and they make the decision, and then our citizens will be like, what the heck did y'all just do? We can't go back and undo DOT what they've done. We better get it right the first time, because once we send this resolution to them, they're going to do it or they're not going to do it.
Thank you,
We're
Mr.
not going to have
Kane.
any control over it.
If I
Thank you.
may interject, in conversations with SCDOT, they did say that all they would be doing if this was implemented would be placing signs at that intersection, hanging by the lights, and if it did not go well, they could simply remove the sign. So they would still have to review it, like you said, Councilman Kane, but they did offer that caveat that, yes, it could be backtracked fairly easy just by removing the signs. But I do agree that it creates confusion and problems.
Jay, that's not what we're here to do. We don't want to create confusion or problems as a council for our residents and citizens.
Well, I can understand.
Yeah, hold on. Mr. Kane, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Balknight.
I can understand why people are complaining, because if you're in that lane and you're waiting for these people to turn left, you might sit there forever. And we got a problem with people using the right-hand turn to go around, which is illegal. They're going around and coming back in and going straight. So I can understand the problem. I just want to make sure we come up with the right answer.
Okay. Any other discussion on the resolution for consideration of SCDOT? Ms. Mitchell?
So would it be a good idea to get the public involved, or the citizens involved in this decision? Because, like I said, I've been on council for 8 years. I ain't never seen nothing really for Batesburg-Leesville citizens. And I hate to say that, but it's true. I would like to see something done to help people. So I think that you should get in touch with let the citizens put their input in. I'm not saying let them make the decision, but I'm saying let them put their input in.
Okay.
And just for clarity, this was brought up by council, and I was directed to bring this resolution to you. This was a directive of council.
Yep. And we did vote to have it on this agenda. Any other discussions? District 1,
Yes.
2,
No.
3,
District 3 votes no.
4,
No.
5,
No.
6,
No.
7,
No.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. Motion fails. Item F, MPDES, approval of contractor. Let me get to my correct page. Again, this is approval of an engineer for Council approval is needed to select the engineer to conduct the MPDES permit at the wastewater treatment plant, which is required every 5 years. This is the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, which is part of the Federal Clean Water Act. Town is required to conduct this permitting every 5 years. Engineering firms selected will conduct several activities to include influent and effluent monitoring, industrial pretreatment program, and other sampling. In addition to the cost of the engineering services, the town will pay for the associated sampling and testing. 3 quotes that were received from Summit Engineering for $6,200, GHD for $10,007, and Thomas and Hutton for $19,000. Staff is recommending the selection of Summit Engineering to conduct the MPDES permitting at the BL wastewater plant at a cost of $6,200 with funds coming from the enterprise fund, non-departmental miscellaneous expense line item as presented in the 2025-26 budget. Do I have a motion to approve the contractor?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse?
I move that we approve staff's recommendation of Summit Engineering at the $6,200 they quoted.
I have a motion by Mr. Prowse. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hall, any discussion?
Jay,
Mr. Kane? You have the floor, sir.
well, I know, I'm trying to think about what I want to say instead of being a smart behind on it. But my God, has Summit ever lost a bid? Has Summit Engineer ever lost a bid?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but in this case.
Because they on the tit really, really hard. Every time we have something that goes out to bid, Summit is always the lowest bidder. And, I mean, they beat the next bid by $4,000. I mean, come on, man. I'm just saying that at some point, it don't smell right, it don't taste right, it don't look right. Every time we have something going on at the wastewater treatment, it's I mean, it can't be that much of a difference, $19,000 to $6,200. I mean, that's not. I mean,
I can only
every single bid that they go after, they underbid everybody else, and they get the job. I mean, the staff recommends, and the lowest bid is not always the best bid, but there's a relationship apparently between town staff and Summit. I don't understand it.
Summit Engineering has been the primary engineer for the wastewater plant. Thomas and Hutton has also been performing work recently, but perhaps Summit Engineering's knowledge of the plant helps them with the project.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they call insider trading.
No, sir. That's
Well, not insider trading, not that it's going to be illegally insider trading, but
Yeah,
but you understand what I'm saying.
I really do
Okay.
back off the insider trading. There is no financial gain for me
Well,
or
I
anybody
understand
on the
that. I
staff,
apologize. That wasn't the right word.
but
That was not the right word.
perhaps their knowledge of our plant helps them with performing this engineering work. I can't speak to that, but these are 3 engineering firms, and they were clearly the lowest bid, and they have done good work for us. That is why my recommendation comes forward.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, Mr. Hall?
Mr. Hendricks, was this an RFP or an RFQ?
It was neither. We reached out to firms that we've had work with, and Mr. Body, our utility director, who is here tonight, if you have any direct questions about it.
Was this a sealed bid process?
Andrew, I may defer to you on that if you want to step forward. I don't believe it was sealed bid, but it was, they did not have knowledge of other bids.
Things going on around here.
We have an ordinance that specifies how bidding in contracts such as this should be performed if it was a bidding process.
It was not a sealed bid process. I'm not familiar with the exact ordinance you'd be talking about there, but in
You
my
should be.
opinion, this is not a situation where we're seeking a contract. Someone has to
Oh,
do it.
Mr.
We're not
Mayor.
doing an
One second.
engineering.
Mr. Hall has the floor. Keep talking,
No,
sir. Keep talking. Mr. Hall still has the floor. I'm going to let him
He
speak.
don't know what the-
No.
Continue speaking.
No, I'm sorry, he's speaking on behalf of Mr. Hendricks, which is in response to my question.
Right, but as far as council goes, you do have the floor, but I'm going to continue speaking. Yeah. I'm not passing it to another council member, Mr. Hall, is what I'm saying.
We were seeking multiple companies to quote the project. It's not an engineering project, it's not something we're designing, constructing, it's a permit that is required by the state, federal agencies. We simply were seeking 3 qualified candidates to submit the bids. No, sir, it was not a sealed bid process. Those bids came directly to me. No one had knowledge of any other bid from any other entity.
Mr. Mayor?
Any others?
I was simply asking for clarification.
Certainly, Mr. Hall, thank you. Mr. Kane?
Did you say that you didn't know what our ordinance said about bidding?
No, I said I didn't, I may have said that. What I meant was I don't know how that's relevant to this situation about engineering contractors.
So is it a professional service that you just did? Are you considering that professional
I would
service?
say this would be following a professional service, but we're funding it out of the miscellaneous line item on non-departmental, so we make it argue that there's a professional service line item. This would not be funded out of that line item.
Okay, so the issue that I'm having with Summit and the way that, because it sounded like we did just kind of doing this loose type of informal type of deal. So if I can do this for 6,200, but if I know down the road there's going to be another project coming that I can bid on, I can make that difference up, then I will underbid everybody to do that. And I would prefer that when we are dealing with contracts, that we follow the ordinance for contracts. That's why we have ordinances. We don't want people cowboying contracts up and, calling friends and saying, hey, we working on this project. Can you give me a quote or whatever? Because that's what it sounds like what's going on. We have 3 or 4 people that we know and we deal with, and we keep knowing and dealing with them, so we know and deal with them. So we need to go back to regular order and bid these things out properly so that we get, the citizens get a better deal. We don't know what this could be. If they doing it for 6, somebody might do it for 3. Who knows? Mm-hmm. We can't do informal bidding. It's not allowed in our ordinance. And we've done that a lot with these water and sewer projects. So I would just ask staff to stop and to go ahead and do it formally by the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kane. Any other discussion? Thank you. District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
No.
4?
No.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes, motion carries. Next item up for bid. Approval on a contractor for the water valve study. This is a CDBG grant. Council approval is needed to hire an engineering firm to conduct a valve assessment study. In January 2024, the town of Batesburg-Leesville applied for a CDBG grant for a water valve assessment study. The initial request was for $500,000. And with the award being just under $400,000, being received in July 2024, so we have had it. Community development block grants are 90-10 grants, requiring the town to provide a minimum of 10% match. It has to be closed by June 2026. And the intent of this project is to bolster the reliability and isolation capacity of the town's water system. Historically, the town has faced several instances where it has been forced to isolate a majority of its water system just to repair leaks. And through this assessment, the town will be able to identify operational valves as well as those requiring replacement and abandonment, identifying the location and reducing the frequency that maintenance is required to be performed on lines under pressure. Let me get down to the good part. RFQ was posted in December 2024. Initial recommendation was presented at the April 14th meeting, and the vote ending in a 4-4. And the quotes were, let's see, there were quotes that were received. Hazen and Sawyer's estimated $497,000. Eastern Engineering, estimated $481,731 without repair estimates, and Hazen Swears included that. And then Water Source, Inc. did not provide a total, just a per asset cost of $115 per asset, with training at $85 per hour, which would equate to $195,000. No additional expenses provided. It looks like they're unable to mobilize in time, according to the white paper. So staff's recommendation is that council select Hazen and Sawyer to conduct the valve assessment study up to a cost of $497,750, with funds coming from the capital improvement impact fee account in the amount of $97,898 after the grant funds. So $400,000 in grants and $97,800 out of our pocket. Do I have a motion on this?
Wait,
Mr. Mayor?
hold on, before.
No,
Before we
there's
do
no
a motion-
discussion, there's no discussion.
I'm getting some clarification from the attorney.
I would like,
Because
I'm
we
asking,
already
no, I'm
voted on that.
motioning,
That
I'm
shouldn't have
asking
come
for a
back up.
motion before we start discussion, and
Well,
I
we
will
don't
have a
want
motion
a
before we
motion is
start.
out of order.
Motion is
motion's
not out of order.
until
We have no
we have-
discussion at this time.
Did we
There's
vote
no
on this
discussion
already?
at this time. You're
we
not
vote
the
on this
chair.
already?
You're not the chair.
Okay, but did we vote on this already?
We voted, yeah, I
Then why is
disclaimed
it coming
was
back? It can't come back for a whole nother year,
So 4-4,
right?
it failed.
Exactly, and you
Can
cannot
this
bring
come
it back
back,
up.
can this come back to agenda?
You cannot bring it back
And we're
up.
going to ask our attorney.
Yeah. It failed. It failed.
Mr. Mayor?
1 second, Mr. Hall. We're going to wait 1 second here.
What I am speaking with Attorney Jones about was part of the directive that night was wanting to see other prices, wanting to see quotes. That was the majority of the complaint that night, was that we didn't have quotes. Even though RFQ for professional services does not require that, that was the directive that was given that night. So I have directed
You can't
Mr.
bring it
Biden.
back up, Jay.
So
It was a
that-
vote.
that
It was a vote by council, right?
Let Jay finish, please, Mr.
So
King.
that was the directive that I took out of that meeting, was that y'all wanted to see that. So I'm bringing it back up.
You can't bring it back up for a year. You can do all the research you want to do, and you can bring it back up after another year.
Mr. Mayor?
But you cannot bring something back up the council has dispositioned already.
Okay, Mr. Kane, we've heard you.
Mr. Kane, would you yield?
Yes?
And again, we really don't have a discussion here. I am going to give you the floor, and I'm going to give each council member the floor for clarification. Mr. Kane?
Mr. Mayor, if I may have the floor.
Yes, you may.
It is possible, I believe, to have a motion to reconsider.
That's not what the
If
vote
someone on the winning side of the vote, since it was a tie vote, those who voted it to be approved at the time, do we have a record of who voted on this issue back in March?
This was
And how
actually
they vote.
last month, I think.
And how they
April.
voted?
Wait. April.
We could have a
Wait,
motion to
Mr. Hall.
reconsider. This is a needed project, all right?
I believe
It's not a matter of how much money, but it is a matter of a needed project.
And I'd like to ask the attorney if we can have a motion to reconsider on, okay?
So this is a Robert's Rules of Order issue, unless
Thank you, sir.
unless your council rules are any different. Somebody who is on the approving side, even though it was a 4-4 tie, can make a motion for reconsideration.
On the approving side of the failure. So who voted no, right?
Who voted yes?
Who voted yes?
And those that voted yes that night were 1, 6, 7, and the mayor.
Okay.
Wait, no.
So I'll make a motion to
No, wait,
reconsider.
wait.
I'm making a motion to reconsider.
Wait.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second to reconsider?
No, what failed?
No, ladies and gentlemen.
What
Mr. Kane, there's a motion on the floor, and I've made it.
What failed
Mr. Kane,
was-
I have
it
a
was not
motion
a-
on the floor to reconsider per Robert's rules for our attorney.
No, the
I have a
winning
motion
side-
to reconsider. Do
the
I have a
winning
second?
side
Mr.
failed.
Kane, I have a
Made it
motion on the
fail.
floor. Mr. Kane,
The
Mr.
winning
Kane,
side
Mr.
made
Kane,
it
Mr.
fail.
Kane,
Y'all were the
Mr. Kane,
losing side.
Mr. Kane, Mr.
You can
Kane,
bang,
Mr.
bang,
Kane,
bang all
Mr.
the fuck
Kane,
you want.
Mr. Kane. Is my motion a legal motion?
The winning folks
Is my motion
killed
a legal
the
motion?
deal.
Attorney, is my motion legal
Not
motion?
won the deal.
Is my motion a legal motion?
The winning side are the people who
It was
lost.
a tie.
Right. So it should not be able to come back up anyway. 'cause
We're
there's
going to
no
listen
prevailing
to, no, we're going to listen to the attorney.
There's no prevailing side, so it shouldn't be able to
We're
come
going to
back
listen
up
to the
for
attorney. The
reconsideration
attorney has the
anyway.
floor. The attorney has the floor.
So technically, this is not the same matter.
Thank you.
Because you brought forward additional information that was requested by council at the time, as I understand it. You have a different matter entirely. The council can make a vote. It's been put on the agenda by the chair. And because you're now bringing new information in connection with the matter, the council can consider the matter.
Okay,
that's
so we
how
don't
we're
need a
gonna do from
motion.
now on,
So
right?
I
That's
withdraw
not how
my
we-
motion to
That's not how
reconsider.
we've been doing it for 20 years.
I withdraw my motion to consider. Do I have a motion?
We want to give Hayes and Sawyer as much money as we can
Oh, my gosh.
because you sit on the board. Okay.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse.
I move that we approve staff's
It can't
recommendation.
come back up. It shouldn't come back up.
So I have a motion from Mr. Prowse. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bachnight, thank you. Any discussion? Any more discussion?
Yeah, we.
Mr. Kane, you have the floor.
Go ahead,
Mr.
Shirley.
Kane has the floor.
Go ahead, Shirley.
Mr. Mitchell has the floor.
I have a question for the attorney. If anything else comes up on council like this, and you have to wait a year, why is this not important enough to wait? So important that you can't wait a year? I mean, why does it have to come back up?
We lose $400,000. That's
If
why.
something else would come up the same, you would say,
$400,000. We're throwing it away.
Yes, ma'am, I don't know that I see a question in your statement. I don't understand what your question is.
ask you the question, and I was very plain.
No, ma'am, it wasn't.
If you're supposed to wait a year to bring something else back up that you've already brought up and it failed, why is this not the same rule? And you saying that they didn't do it, and you know they can't do it. That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is, it's a different matter. There are always exigent circumstances. That's not a legal question, ma'am.
How is it?
There are exigent circumstances, one of which is you lose a grant of $499,000.
That's not the point.
Mr. Kane,
That's not the
Mr.
point.
Mitchell has the floor.
That's not the
Mr.
point.
Kane,
You're
Ms.
gonna
Mitchell
lose
has the
money.
floor.
Lose
Mr.
money.
Kane, you do not have the floor. Ms. Mitchell has the floor.
So how is this that you can okay it, that was wrong? And you are the attorney of the town.
This is true.
You are our attorney. You're not the attorney for the manager. You're attorney for the town council and everybody else. So how is this not okay with you?
I'd like you not to lose a grant of $499,000.
But we still got to follow the law.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell
You
has
asked
the
how.
floor.
It's not
Okay.
pay for us to lose
Okay.
money. I'm saying what's proper and correct. I'm not talking about the money that you're gonna lose. I'm talking about proper and correct.
Yes, ma'am, I think it's proper and correct to reconsider this matter in light of the timing of the grant.
Thank you.
But what, if you're gonna reconsider,
Yes, ma'am, I appreciate that you don't like my answer, but that's my answer. Yes, ma'am, I appreciate you don't like my answer,
But
but
can
that's
you
Mr. Kane,
appreciate-
Mr. Kane.
Can you appreciate that council voted on this? And we voted not to damn do it. And now you're saying they come back with some smoke and mirrors, and now all of a sudden, well, we don't want to lose this money, so now you can do it. But in any other circumstance, you cannot do it. You have to respect council's decision. This is not respecting what council voted on. Council voted not to do it.
Thank you, Mr.
But I'm
Kane.
not done yet.
Okay, Mr. Kane, you
I'm not
still have the
done.
floor.
Okay.
And this is your
Okay.
second time speaking. So
Okay.
get it all out.
Who are you talking to like that?
You, sir. Get it all
You don't-
out.
you
You have the
don't-
floor. No, you just get it out. Let's go. You have the floor, sir.
Lancer, let me tell you something. You don't talk to me like that.
I'm not
And
doing
the
anything,
next
Mr.
time that-
Kane. Mr. Kane, you have the floor. Speak on the subject. You're good. Talk.
Who the fuck you think
Yeah,
you're talking to like that?
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
You don't talk to me like that.
I'm not talking to you like anyway. I'm not talking to you like anyway, Mr. Kane. You have the floor.
Let me tell you
Mr. Kane, I would suggest you sit down.
You don't
I would suggest you sit down and get away from my chair. Mr. Kane, get away from my chair. Mr. Kane, get away from my chair.
I have
Mr. Kane, you're going to need to
something I'd
sit
like to
down.
say, Mr.
You're going
Mayor.
to, Mr. Kane, you're going to get away from my chair.
I would like to
Step
speak.
back away from my chair, Mr. Kane. It's in your best
I would like to
interest.
speak.
Yeah, it is, son. Get on
As a
back. Get back
council-
away from me now. Get away from me, Mr. Kane,
As a council member,
Sit down.
I would like to speak.
or leave.
I would like to speak. We are adults in this room.
Some of them don't.
And I would like for us to conduct ourselves as adults. We are citizens of this town, and we come from the mayor to the last council member who represents District 8 to represent the people of this town. And
Thank you,
I would
ma'am.
hope that we would do what is legally right for the town, the citizens of this town. And if that issue that we are addressing was failed in March, according to what we have learned in practice, it's not supposed to come back up until a year. So therefore, to bring it up in this July meeting,
They have
it's
to.
inappropriate and out of order.
Thank you, Ms. Hartley. Any discussion? Mr. Wise? I think Mr. Wise, did,
I call for the vote.
Behind that, yeah, I do.
we have a call for the vote?
For the vote.
Yeah, you keep.
Call for the vote. I have a call for the vote, so I'm going to say we have a call for the vote. So we have to, Attorney, we're going to do a vote for to stop discussion, correct, on the call for the vote?
Yes.
Okay. District 1,
Yes.
to stop discussion, okay? District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District 4, to stop discussion, ma'am, yes or no? District 5, District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
No.
and Mayor votes yes. I am calling for the vote. Again, District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District 4,
No?
District 5, District 6,
Then go again.
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes, motion carries. Item H is approval of a software upgrade for Town Hall. This is on page 83 of your packet. All right, council approval is needed to select the engineer to conduct, wait a minute, is that right? The NPDES permit at the wastewater treatment plant?
Correction, yeah, that
Sorry,
was the-
correction, sorry, that's wrong.
Yeah, the second paragraph, my bad.
Second paragraph.
Yeah, this is the, as presented at the
Thank you,
work
that's where
session.
we did have a correction on that. In the white paper, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, as presented at the April work session, that's right. Town hall services are currently being conducted on Bldg software, which is owned by Springbrook. This service was originally developed by Smith Technologies and was then bought by Springbrook. Current software has been used for over a decade for all services in Town Hall, and Springbrook has been working with municipalities to migrate over to their new cloud-based Cirrus system. And as presented in the packet, the annual cost would be $35,000, which is split between both the enterprise and the general fund, and it's spelled out in the maintenance contracts and the utility billing administration at $17,000 and some change each. Springbrook is willing to split this, the conversion cost into 2 budget years, with $41,000 being paid in both 25-26 and 26-27. Staff's recommendation is the upgrade, the new Cirrus operating system with Springbrook, with the annual cost split evenly between the maintenance contract line items in the general fund, administration, enterprise fund, utility billing budgets, as presented in 25-26 budget. 25-26 conversion costs will come from enterprise fund, utility reserve line item, and the 26-27 costs to come from the general fund. Do I have a motion for the software upgrade for Town Hall?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse.
I move that we approve staff's recommendation.
We have a motion from Mr. Prowse. Have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bucknight, any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Mr. Hall?
Mr. Hendricks, what impact will this have on financial reporting and the ability to tailor financial reporting?
I haven't seen that demo specifically, but the demos that we have seen and the conversations are that we will be able to run more reports much quicker and easier than we currently are able to do.
Okay, because this specifically says that it cannot be modified for special.
And that's essentially the way the current system is. It can't be modified. We just are able to print the reports that it spits out. This one is, as I understand it, has more options and will be much user-friendly for the staff, but then also will be providing better information, better output.
And is this a cost savings?
No,
Do our citizens get out of this?
Well, the citizens will, it is an efficiency process in the town hall, and if we're able to be more efficient in town hall, then hopefully we can prevent staffing increases in the future. But this is to make our operations much quicker and more efficient in the town hall.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the software
Yes,
upgrade?
an
Mr. Hall?
additional-
Oh, sorry about that. Yes, sir.
What impact will it have on the town webpage?
It's not integrated to the web page at all.
Okay, so it is a separate function?
Yes, that is, the web page is from Civic Plus, and this is our financial reporting, HR, payroll, utility billing, business licenses are all managed by this software.
But this is the data source for the financial reports?
Yes, but it is not. The only thing that is on the website are the reports that are printed out in a PDF format, so there's no true interaction between the website and the Cirrus software.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Again, it's approval of the software upgrade for town hall is presented in our packet. District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 goes no.
4,
No.
5. Five. We're voting, ma'am, on the approval of the software upgrade for Town Hall as presented in our packet, and we are in the middle of a vote. There's no more discussion. Okay, that's fine. District 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes, motion carries. Approval of a purchase of a state surplus police car. All right. So this is, council approval is needed to purchase a 2017 Police Interceptor sedan from federal surplus. The BOPD is in need of replacement vehicles, and the above vehicle is the same make and model as the unit which was recently totaled out by insurance following an accident. And the incident occurred in March. The town received $9,272.50 for this loss after the deductible. Vehicle has just 9,000 miles on it. It's in great shape. Equipment from the vehicle was total, the vehicle that was total was removed and could go into the new vehicle, creating a zero equipment cost per chief. Original asking price was $17,000, and they were negotiated down to $16,500. And staff recommends the purchase of the 2017 Police Interceptor sedan from federal surplus at a cost of $16,500, with the funds to come from the General Fund Reserve Fund. Do I have a motion from council?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prouse.
I move that we approve staff's recommendation at this time.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wise, any discussion? Ms. Mitchell?
This car is to replace the one that was in the accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Balknight?
since my son's an employee at the police department, do I need to recuse myself from this vote?
Yes.
I will defer to the attorney.
Always better to be safe than sorry.
Okay. Your recusal is noted. Any other discussion? District 1,
Yes.
3,
3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and mayor votes yes. Item J is approval of the SRO contract between the town of Batesburg-Leesville and Lexington School District 3. And this is the contract that's attached in our white paper between the town and the school district needs to be renewal. The term is for the 25-26 school year, terminating June 30, 2026. Financials are the same as before. 2 of the SOR school resource officers positions are fully funded from the state, while the other 2 positions are funded with 75% of salaries and benefits from the school and 25% from the town. Additional funding from the school district is also available for equipment and supplies. Staff has recommended approval of the contract as submitted. Do I have a motion based on what is in the packet with the contract?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse?
I move that we approve this contract as before.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Brown? Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hall?
Mr. Hendricks, what impact does the recent fully funding all school resource officers by the state announced by the governor in the last couple of days have on this?
Chief, do you have any information on that?
Yeah, I heard it, but I also got an email earlier last week that said that funds were short. So I wish I could answer that question because I'm just confused as well.
Because he specifically said 1,176 officers were to be fully funded. So will we aggressively seek to have access to that additional 25% full funding?
Absolutely. Yeah, and like it was presented, 2 of them are already state funded, so this would be an easy transition to 4. And I'm sure the school district would be greatly appreciative of their cost savings as well.
Okay. Second issue, of course, obviously, which I raised in my mails, and we don't actually have a start date, although we have a clause in here which is predicated on having a formal start date. It's not in this contract. It says that if the contract were to be terminated, not that we would I can't foresee termination, but I'd like to have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And it continuously references that we would have to refund the school district a percentage of their contribution for equipment and so forth. So it would be easy to insert that for consideration of this clause, the start date is school year 2019, I believe is what Mr. Hendricks originally.
I believe that 2017-18 was the first contract that I was.
Therefore, technically, that clause is would be no longer applicable. So either remove the clause but useless clauses in contracts certainly give plaintiffs something to hang their hat on.
Okay, any other discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes no.
4?
No.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Item K, this is approval of a Federal Highway Administration subrecipient agreement for the Safe Streets for All grant. All right, so this is an agreement. Let's make sure I can read the right one. All right. So council approval for the acceptance of the agreement with the Federal Highway Administration for the allocation of the $7.99 million for road safety improvements as awarded last fall as part of the Safe Streets and Roads grant. And this first piece is approval of the Federal Highway Administration subrecipient agreement for Safe Streets for all grant. Mr. Hendricks, I'm going to let you give some context to this first one, if you would.
All right, so if you look at the screen, you can see the first page of the federal award. The federal share is $7,991,392. The recipient share is $1,997,848. Again, an 80-20 grant. I would take you down to another page where it breaks it down to local funds. Those can be in kind, those can be state. It could be anything else. The hope is that we can leverage this into state funds and that this is not local funds in the town of Batesburg-Leesville sense. For instance, the C Fund grant that we received a few months ago would be able to count towards that local funds. So it's an 80-20 grant. It's about a 5-year term on it. We have the final report date there on the screen is 3/30 of 2030. So we've got just under 5 years to complete this. And we have had conversations with SEDOT, Central Midlands, about partnering with them on projects, including the Mitchell Street intersection, which has $1 million of state funds. So we're trying to leverage this to utilize that state funding. And this was also covered in depth in the February work session with Jamie Kendrick.
Okay, thank you. So again, looking for a motion for the approval of the Federal Highway Administration subrecipient agreement for safe streets and roads. So this is a sub-recipient agreement.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse,
I move that we approve this agreement.
do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wise? Any discussion? Mr. Hall? Oh, I thought I heard you, sorry.
You did, because basically, I'm looking at a situation where phase one, for instance, I believe somewhere in here we were talking about $700,000, $800,000 for the actual cost of phase one, and the federal government's going to kick forward $500,000 of that. So that leaves the town looking at somewhere over $250,000. Not only that, I understand this is a reimbursement grant, so therefore the town actually has to pay for the project and then ask for reimbursement. So we're looking at an exposure, maximum exposure, if, for instance, they don't like the double entry bookkeeping of counting $1 million here, that's, unless we actually may be required to include that and pay for the funds and reimburse them. And I'm talking about Mitchell Street. All right, how can you count the $1 million that's going to go specifically for that project when the money spent here is actually going to go for a totally, hopefully for a totally different list of projects? So I have some concerns, and is there a timeline for this? Can we have a work session and really go through the mechanics?
Yes, that is the intent. Year one is going to be very minimal expenses in my estimation. The project manager, which is the next approval item, is Jamie Kendrick, and he's going to be the one that would be working that. You mentioned the process when we did the planning phase of the Safe Streets grant. Yes, that was, my job was to submit those reimbursement requests through the system. Typically, it would turn around in a few weeks, and we would have that money back. But yes, there is certainly some fronting of that money. I, too, have some concerns about it because I don't want us to be on the hook. I'll be honest, I don't want us on the hook for much at all. But I do think that it's beneficial, and it opens up great opportunities for us to partner with the state, the county, to do, be it sidewalks that have been identified. We can perhaps get some intersection improvements. I think that there are a lot of benefits to it. It's going to be a lot of work on our side. The project manager and the grant management is going to be a challenge. This is the biggest grant that I've ever been involved in, and federal grants are a little bit, they're fun. So there's a lot of work. We didn't rush this forward because, there were some concerns, there was a lot of reviews from the federal, but I do believe that it's a good thing. And certainly the question about the Mitchell Street, that $1 million, I'm not making any promises to that money, but I know that if we are able to try to leverage some SCDOT state funds, that would be wonderful. But again, there's no promises. We've had conversations with SCDOT that, we're not committing them to anything. We made sure that it didn't say state funds because I don't have that authority.
Ms. Mitchell?
Do you already have lists of projects that you all were going to do?
So no official projects yet. We had a planning process that showed different ideas. It showed sidewalks, Line Street, I believe Howard Street, Brody Road, some Lee Street sections. There were some that were identified in the planning process because that planning document was what was needed to get the implementation grant. So that document, which is on our website, shows several different intersection improvements. It shows, hypothetical improvements at Sluda Avenue and Highway 23, but council has not approved anything specifically. No. Those are just, potential projects.
All right, I have a motion and a
Wait,
second.
Can I?
Mr. Kane?
Jay, now can we, the partnership that we have with the state and the county, can that be used as a match?
My understanding is we can use state money as a match.
Well, all of it's state money, right? I mean, it's all Fed money for real. but-
Well, there is differences between federal money and state money. My understanding of the $5 million that's allocated for the Mitchell Street intersection is 4 federal and 1 state. So there's differences, and smarter people than me know how to delineate that.
Bob talked about upfront costs. Is it a way that the state or the county would pick that up instead of us picking it up? If it's all reimbursable, if it becomes an issue for us in our budget, are they able to pick it up, the upfront costs, and have the reimbursement go towards that, have that on their plate?
That would be a conversation to have. I have not had that conversation with them.
Please have that conversation. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Jay, can the 20% be bonded?
I would assume that it could.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, any other discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
District 3 votes yes.
4?
Yes.
5? 6?
Yes.
7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. All right. Next item up is approval of the agreement with Wood Valley Community Strategies for project management for the Safe Streets for All grant. So this is another piece of it. And this would be an agreement between the town and Wood Valley Community Strategies for the management of the Safe Streets for All projects. Jamie Kendrick, principal of WCS, has briefed the council on this project several times and will continue to work with us to achieve all federal requirements, overseeing engineering consulting. To date, WCS work has been paid by Lexington County through their Safe Streets for All grant, which extends the amount of time that we will have WCS services for at least 6 months. Before I take a motion, do you, Mr. Hendricks, do you want to expand on any of that?
Just that Jamie has been with us since day one. He was the one that presented to council. He has essentially been working, I guess technically for the county based off of, they have been funding some of his project stuff. So kind of working pro bono for us. He has not been paid by us for his work with the February work session or anything.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'm sorry, are we on?
Yeah, we have I was just
Are we in
giving
discussion, or-
clarification. We're not in, I don't have a motion yet.
Okay.
So again, I'm looking for a motion to approve the agreement between the town and Wood Valley Community Strategies to continue to serve as project management for this grant.
So moved.
Mr. Balknight, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Prowse. Now we're in discussion. Mr. Hall, you have the floor.
Actually, federal grants typically do not pick up the tab for project management or outside consultants. And typically, the fees for project management run in the range of 5 to 7%. And we are looking at 10 million total for this. So we're looking at putting out 700,000 for this. Is that what this contract could end up costing us?
That has not, I haven't heard that number, but the project management was part of phase one, the planning phase. So that was included in this grant initially. So it has been paid back. On page 3 of his proposal, it does break down his hourly rate. It's not a percentage. It's based off of an hourly rate, the estimated hours and project schedule.
And just for clarification, in the white paper, in that attached letter, the estimated cost related to the project management of this grant over the next 10 to 14 months is $28,140. And according to the white paper, these costs are eligible as grant costs. Any other discussion?
Doesn't ring.
District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes, motion carries. And then the last piece of the Safe Streets and Roads grant is approval of continued agreement with Mead and Hunt related to the Safe Streets for All grant, who brought us the grant. So this is, staff is recommending approval of the continued agreement with Mead and Hunt for engineering work related to the SS4A grant. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve staff's recommendation to continue that relationship.
Mr. Proust, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Balknight, do I have any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes, motion carries. And that brings us to the manager's report. Mr. Hendricks, step on up.
All right, good evening. Just a reminder, the next holiday is September the 1st, that's Labor Day. And I do want to bring up Dylan Rice from the fire department. So Dylan was our representative at the State Firefighters Convention in June at Myrtle Beach. And while there, he received the award for a fire safe community for the fire department. So Dylan, I know you were hankering to come speak. So step forward and tell us a little bit about what you do.
How are y'all this afternoon?
Good, sir, thank you. Welcome, Dylan.
The Fire Safe SC designation that we received, Fire Safe SC is a program by the SC State Fire designed to help fire departments across the state become more driven on community risk reduction by providing training, education materials, and safety messages. Those messages range from fire safety to car seat safety. It's a whole big conundrum. The main goal of that program is to reduce home fires in our state, which of course not only decrease risk for the residents, but also for firefighters. Each year, Fire Safe SC provides a goal list for departments to complete to receive the designation. The list contains certain classes, trainings to attend and complete, data to collect, and to identify certain risks in the community, such as areas that are heavily populated with older residents, older housing, things like that. Also, it's designed to help us identify and communicate with community stakeholders, businesses, so on and so forth. By receiving this designation, it just shows the community that the department is staying up to date on identifying risk, trainings, and so on and so forth to help protect the community. And I also have a copy of the certificate here if y'all would like to see it.
Awesome.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, Mr. Hall.
how many
What's
fire
that? I
departments
want to see.
received this rating?
208 out of approximately 500.
Well done. Well done.
All right, thank you, Dylan. And also with the fire department, we do have the new engine. It did get delivered shortly after that firefighters convention, so it is
That didn't take very long at all, did it?
only about 3 years. But so the new engine is parked out front, and it will be placed into service soon. The department is conducting training and getting ready to
Push
place it into
start.
service.
That's awesome.
Push
Mr.
start.
Kane?
What?
Is it
Yes,
push start?
Yes, it is push. There is no key.
No
We
key.
haven't had keys since the 90s on fire trucks.
Where's Darren? I'm going to spin the block. Just don't get behind me.
All right, a couple other updates. We did receive notice of Chapter 11 bankruptcy from PMSI. That is our former utility billing mailing vendor. So we did file a claim for the $2,816.39 that they have of our money. Good luck getting that back. I'm sure we'll see a share. But a couple of event updates. Summer concert is this Saturday, the Killer Bees, beginning at 7 p.m. at Leesville College Park. The summer movie series has been a nice success. It's been at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays at Haynes Auditorium. Average attendance has been around 70. We did have a high of 98 in attendance, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. So a big thank you to Hewlin Baptist Church for coming out and providing the kids with free popcorn. There's also a movie tomorrow, so if you're interested in seeing Snow White, the new version that is, that will be the show for tomorrow, and that is slated to be the final one. There is possibility they may add another one next week just because school got pushed back a week. All right, so project updates. The water project is nearing completion. I know you keep hearing that, but it is getting close. The last bit of line on our System 2 was laid last week with connection made on Wednesday. The contractor will begin testing the system soon with water from Gilbert Summit, and the project will be in service by the end of the year, hopefully sooner than that. Pine Street Corner parking lot is also nearly complete. The irrigation and shrubbery was installed with only the larger trees remaining. The nursery urged the contractor not to plant those trees until the fall due to the heat. There are a few small punch list items remaining before the project is closed out. Grace Construction is making great progress on the restrooms at the parks. Water and sewer lines were run and the concrete pads were poured recently. And as of today, you've got walls going up at the Leesville College Park. So over the next 2 weeks, you'll see the framers building out those buildings. Haynes Auditorium assessment, that will be completed by the end of this month, is what the architect told me. We do have the electrical engineer meeting with Dominion about the future power needs so that the service line that will be run underground to the restroom facility will be also enough to power the Haynes. And hopefully we're going to bid soon with the water and sewer line replacements on South Oak, Maple, and North Peachtree. This is a CDBG grant. The process has been long. There was, environmental, and we had to deal with the Indian tribes, making sure we weren't disturbing anything, but we're getting close to going out to bid with that. So we should have that, not August, but we should have that at the September council meeting.
Awesome.
Also, another grant, the Rural Infrastructure Clarifier Grant. That one is a $1 million grant to do clarifier improvements at the wastewater plant. Those bids came in significantly higher than anticipated. Those came in at 2.5. I believe I touched on that with you before. With the cost of 1.5 that would be on us, and then also with the potential improvements through the North Fork Commerce Park. We have not moved forward with that, and unless there is an objection from y'all, we will go ahead and return that, and that will allow us to reapply for another RIA grant in the future. At the moment, we have that one awarded, so we're not eligible to receive another one. Again, the clarifier project was a long-term project. It's not necessary right now. And again, based off of the conversations we've had with Thomas and Hutton and the North Fork Commerce Park, that work would have been dug up and in 5 years potentially worthless. So my recommendation is for us to not move forward with that grant and return that one. Anybody have any objections to that? So, just a run through the financials. General fund checking balance as of July 1, $1,060,544. The LGIP general fund was $867,863. Utility checking, $921,613. LGIP utility, $3,726,341. Victims assistance, $24,512. Fire department 1%, $25,976. The police department donation, $16,846. Capital improvement impact fees, $856,755. Municipal court, $62,881. H-tax, $299,105, and the H-tax LGIP is $1,455,899. The final numbers for the budget, we have received a few checks that are going back on, to be deposited onto the 24-25 year to include the SRO grant. And then also, we are still waiting for C-Fund reimbursement and CDBG reimbursement. So there are a few more funds that will be deposited back onto the previous budget. Anybody have any questions before we roll to executive session?
Mr. Hall?
There are some costs that need to be reversed. Garbage goes back, costs was incurred. When will those numbers be available?
I'm going to go with next week. We should have a good number on that.
If you get a copy, I would appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Other question, and of course, actually, it looks like if we transfer the 350 on paper, the numbers look bad because 315,000 for my favorite little fire truck was not transferred to the revenue side. So therefore, revenue will exceed expenses according to those. But my next question is the garbage issue that did not make a motion. Billing will go out the 1st of August. We're talking about $2,500 a month. It's going to have to come from somewhere because that contract is, we have to pay the bill.
Yes,
So
sir.
when do you plan to bring that back up?
Can't keep bringing it back up.
Mr. Hall?
So
If there was no motion.
Mr. Hall has the floor. Mr. Hall has the floor. Mr. Hall has the floor.
So as far as the bill was supposed to be September the 1st, it would have been 2 readings on the ordinance. I mean, I would love to talk with y'all individually about your concerns with it. I mean, we're going to have to pay the bill, and either we charge that to the consumer or we spread it across all taxpayers, even the people that don't have trash service. So, I mean, it's going to have to be paid somehow. I realize there are taxpayers that don't have trash service, be it in the apartment complexes or.
Work session to hammer it out and a special meeting to vote on it. Can make the time.
Make any adjustment to a contract, just take it to executive session, would be my recommendation. Anything else from Mr. Hendricks?
Jay, listen.
Mr. Kane?
We have to operate regular order. That thing failed for lack of a motion, right? So what new information are you going to come up with to bring it back up again? Usually when things fail and council doesn't make a motion or a second, that cannot be brought back up.
Well, my opinion on that, and this.
I'm talking about law. I'm not even.
Well, again, speaking from the heart, we had a $399,000 grant that needs.
I'm not talking about that. That's over.
Well,
that's over. That's not. I'm talking about the trash.
Oh, the trash. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to we don't want to get Lance's panties in a bunch.
Oh my goodness.
How about that? So let's go move on.
All right. So
Oh, man. Wow.
there was no vote on that one, so that one is different from what
I
you.
don't know. I don't think you can bring it back up.
No, there was no vote, no motion made.
No motion.
No motion made.
But if it died for lack of a motion, it was on the agenda. It died for lack of a motion, according to Robert's rule.
And it's nothing that we're going to
Roberts,
vote.
do I have the floor, sir?
Yeah, you do have the floor.
Okay, well, don't
Yeah.
interrupt me.
Okay, Mr. King, go ahead and
Okay,
talk.
Hush.
Okay.
Be quiet. Okay. So it's my understanding that if it's a lack of, it dies for lack of a motion, that, not emotion, motion, that it cannot be brought back up under Robert's Rules of Order. Is that not correct? I'm asking, I don't know.
I'll defer to Ray on that.
Do you mean ever?
Well, it has to come back in a year, but that's.
There's no one-year rule in Robert's rules.
Okay, but so whenever we vote on something and we don't like it, we can bring it back up with new information? Because that's what we just did, right? Isn't that what you just said?
No, sir.
Okay, so how do we bring the other thing? Now you're making me bring it back up, but how do you bring something back up that has failed?
You have your own procedures under your ordinances that permit the chair to reintroduce a matter.
How?
It's under your ordinance. I'll be glad to send you a letter after this meeting.
Yeah, but you just ruled on the fact that we could vote on that grant proposal.
I did.
When it died. What was your basis on that then?
Your rules under your ordinances.
What rules? What rules said that we can do that?
Your rules say that the chair can reintroduce a matter, and Robert's rules does not. Your rules also say.
Where in our ordinance?
I'll be glad to send you a letter after the meeting, sir.
I'm trying to, okay. All right, Mr. Hendricks, are you finished with your report?
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Executive session, we have two items this evening. The sale of property on a Pine Street, and item B is contractual matter with Summerlin Homeowners Association. Do I have a motion to enter executive session?
So moved.
Mr. Balknight, do you have a second?
Second.
Mr. Prouse, any discussion? District 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
Sorry, I don't understand.
3? District 3? District 3? District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 5, executive session? District 5? District 5? Okay, thank you. That's awesome. District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8? Yes. And Mayor votes yes. We're in executive session. Thank you, everyone.
You missed.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to return to regular council meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Prowse, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Balknight, any discussion? District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8.
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. We are in regular session. Possible actions by council and follow-up to executive session. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prowse.
I move that we direct the town manager to order an appraisal of the Pine Street lot.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Prowse. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Balknight. Any discussion?
What happens after
Mr. Kane?
What happens after the appraisal?
We got to bring it back.
No, man, I'll bring
that back to council and that decision
Okay.
can be made
All
at
right.
that time.
I'll remove that, okay.
Well, we need to know that.
District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
8.
Yes.
And Mayor votes yes. Motion carries. Potential agenda items for next month's meeting. Do I have any motions? And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
So moved.
Mr. Brown, I have a second by Mr. Prowse.
Mr. Mayor? Motion.
I have a motion and a second for adjournment. District 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
4,
Yes.
5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Yes.
and Mayor votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Two things, Mr. Mayor.